The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh, got my hustle on, no imitation of that. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throb in my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too evil and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly Speaking podcast coming to you Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. It is once again another Studio Game Report with my man Kyle Nash. And by the way, before we get started, we might have some difficulties going forward because we tried to start the show a couple minutes ago and I had a little bit of internet issues here. Right now,
you tried to blame it on me and then realized it wasn't my fault.
Exactly, I tried to blame it on you. Was usually on my end. I think there's construction going on nearby my house, and I think they keep fucking with my lines here, man. What are we doing here? You know what? At least I won't get copyright struck for this one. I hate you. I hate you so much. Let's start the show. I hate you. I
did it. Now you won't get a copy strike.
Exactly. Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about today, but we're gonna finish our college football season preview today. We started last week. We did the over-unders for certain teams last week. This week we'll do completion of the playoff brackets and all that, who won the national title and all that, and then some NFL news and notes real quick. All right. So let's start it first because college football starts on Saturday, week 0, which again, week 0, really? Come on,
stop, get over it.
Oh, you like my shirt? It's nice, isn't it?
No, hey, listen. I mean, if you're trying to portray yourself as a Michigan fan, those are definitely good colors there with the Nirvana shirt. I didn't know yellow and Nirvana was a thing, but I'm not mad at it.
My number 2 team, Michigan, by the way, and you know why. I had to remind you again for like the third time in the last 2 years.
Okay, hold on. If you had said Michigan basketball, I would have understood Glenn Rice. Okay, like you can claim that all you want to. Guess what?
Oh, there's specifics to this too.
Some of us thought he was pretty badass back in the day too. And like this is that thing. You actually have support, but then you try to claim it on your own, and then it sounds like
I hate you so much.
That's in case those who don't know, that's Wonder Who's Crying Now by Journey. That is so we don't get copyright struck. That's why
that happened to me on YouTube last week. Could you play that song on the last Studio Report?
Well, you were crying again. Why is that my fault?
Well, do people know the backstory about that whole how thing came up about?
Well, we should go to
it relates to college football and my team, Flores State Seminoles.
Exactly.
Getting screwed last year.
No, they
allegedly.
Didn't.
Well, you know.
Allegedly. Okay.
Allegedly.
That's fair. You say alleged because you could believe it's true and I don't. But if you say it's alleged, like that's a thing. Like allegedly, you know about NBA basketball, right? It could be true or not, but I could still say, got him. Triggered.
Calm down, Kyle.
How's that
Calm
feel?
down.
You had that moment in Batman or Dark Knight Rises where he's like, so that's what that's like. That's what you did to say. It's like, oh, I'm so used to triggering other people, but now I got triggered. So that's what that's like.
I hate you.
Let's get into it, man.
I hate you. All right, so let's start here first.
I hate you, Cam.
We're only going to cover the big 4 conferences in college football. So,
I mean,
we're going to go ACC, Big 10, Big 12, SEC champions. Who wins conferences now? This is part 2 of our college football preview from last week. If you haven't seen it, go check out the YouTube page. We have a clip for that set for you there.
Rory, slow down.
Sorry. So, Kyle, let's start it first. Who wins the ACC this year?
FSU. I have FSU. The ease of the schedule, my confidence in Coach Mike Norvell, my lack of confidence in Dabo Sweeney getting with the times and the transfer portal and all that. Granted, he's been compelled to use it more lately than in the past.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know people are trying to sell me the Wolf Pack. No, that's not a shot at Mikey the burn from this past weekend or this past episode of Huddle Up. Bing! And Big Jim chiming in.
I hate Big Jim.
Take requests? Yes, I sure do take kazoo requests. That is a thing that can happen. That just,
He says week 0 is week. It's not week 0. Week 1 is it's just 2 weeks long.
So yeah, the Huddle Up.
I said what I said.
The Huddle Up podcast, which I'm assuming is Big Jim commenting there, like it proposes that week 1 is just a week and a half long instead of a single week. I think that's a good solution. I like that.
Okay, so you got Florida State. I also have Florida State as well too because I'm a homer. Homer. Oh, go ahead and say it. Homer. Oh my God. Bringing the Simpsons in this now? Wow, unbelievable.
Look, you're the one being a homer. Boom. So if you're a homer, who really brought in the Simpsons? Just say it.
It's true. All right. Big Ten champions will be who, Kyle Nash?
It's hard for me to sway away from Ohio State. I know, referencing, of course, Mikey Byrne again. Some people out there believe that quack motherfucker is a thing. I don't.
It could be a thing.
No. Here's the thing, and the reason
they play week 5, week 6, whatever it is, and that will decide.
Hear me out. The reason why I don't is the tradition that is Oregon getting beaten by teams with stout defensive fronts, right?
Right.
Even a Stanford team that has been not great, Bob, for some period of time, still will sneak in and upset every now and again, just on the strength of the fact that their pure trench warfare cracks the tradition of fast offense. With Oregon, but the Ducks will be plenty good. I'm sure their name will come up later, and there may be a quack motherfucker or two in there for the sake of performance, because I'm demanded to talk filthy on the Earnestly Speaking podcast. Bing!
Of course, you don't like that. I'm also going Ohio State as well. I do think that game will decide the conference because both teams outside of that matchup, their schedule is relatively easy. I know people can say, "Oh, what about Michigan?" I don't think this is the year, guys. Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong. I hate Ohio State. I want Michigan to win the conference, and who knows, maybe repeat if possible. But I don't see it happening this year. Too many changes here. New quarterback, obviously, new head coach. There's a lot of changes. Ohio State. This is a pressure year for Ryan Day, also too.
Let's pump the brakes a little bit on the new coach thing with Michigan. Like I think
he's good.
I think Harbaugh's influence holds over for at least one more season, right? Like, and JJ McCarthy was asked to do so little last year. I don't know that replacing him is difficult, right? Think a situation like with San Francisco 49ers, right? You go from Trey Lance getting hurt to Garoppolo to Brock Purdy, and the only reason you don't win the NFC Championship is because the next guy after Purdy even got hurt, for Christ's sake. So, it would take that kind of a situation, I think, to do that much damage to Michigan. I know they lost an O-lineman or two, but I still think overall their trenches are strong enough.
Like a beast of a video I can watch, and we'll only have one person. I'll have one person that has bad takes. Yeah, that's Kyle. Of course. Thank you. By the way, he says quack motherfucker. Talking about takes. That guy has takes. We'll see. Okay, so let's get
there are some instances where he's the leader of the wolf pack of hot takes, but let's move on, shall we?
We're not going to acknowledge in this show because that was ridiculous.
I'm just using a metaphor.
Right. Okay. Big 12 champion will be.
Did you say Utes?
What?
What? Yeah. No. I have. I'm going to say the two what because the Utes will have a conference championship in two different conferences by the time the year is done. In part by beating UCF on Black Friday, a game that I will be. Well, I won't be there in person because reasons, but I will be covering it for the Black and Gold Banneret. Bing!
I also use.
How does that work? I have a kazoo to play music on the show, but I don't have a bell yet. What the fuck?
Where's your soundboard, by the way? Did you have a soundboard still? Oh, no.
What soundboard?
You used to have one back in the day.
Voice actor, motherfucker. No, actually, I deleted that years ago. Back in the days when I have certain clips like "Con" and
I miss those days.
Yeah, that's
Studio Game podcast back pre-2016.
I mean, yeah, you're going back to blog talk days, buddy.
That was fun times though. I also have the Utes also too as well. And yes, no, I'm not copying notes, Kyle. Calm the fuck down. All right.
Who said anything? I think that, listen, as competitive as the Big 12 is going to be, like a lot of people are going to sleep on them, and you're going to see some upsets by teams from the Big 12. Of that, I am convinced.
In fact, I will argue of the 4 teams I'm predicting here, they have probably the easiest path to get to the conference championship. Because of their schedule, of course, I'm saying.
Okay. Well,
relative to the schedule.
If I had known you were
very little resistance. I like if they go unbeaten this year, it wouldn't surprise me.
If I knew you were going to try this, I would have had the schedule up already. But here, I've got to adjust now, and I'll put it this way: they have, what is it, 2 preseason ranked teams on their schedule, right? I don't believe in Oklahoma State, so I don't count that.
Exactly. So that's one of the way. What's the other one?
Arizona is not going to be a gimme, but there are question marks. I will grant you. Iowa State is a dangerous game, but they're not going to Ames for that one. I know you're down on Colorado. I think they should win.
I'm not down on Colorado, but they're not on Utah's level. Let's be clear about that.
I literally just said that. Shall we move on? And I'm not saying that to be a dick. Like, that's me. I could just say I agree with you and be boring, or I can be smooth about it, But I can make the argument that playing in the bounce house on Black Friday is the toughest road game that they face on the schedule. So there is some there. Undefeated, golly man, I don't know. That's tall, but they will win the conference, and at the very least, they'll be runners up. And
making my point, there's very little resistance there.
Or
should I say real resistance? But then again, it is Utah. They tend to once in a while lose a game they shouldn't lose.
I'm not going to go that far, just because it's hard to analyze them, because for the second time, they are the unicorn in their conference, right? The Pac-12, the Big 12, right? Death taxes in the over, right? Degenerate, you know all about that.
Yeah, of course.
But the part where they actually play stout defense is fascinating. Right. And the other thing that's fascinating, EJ Christian, the UCF offensive line could be one of the better in the conference this year. And by the time they get to them in the final game of the regular season, gelling shouldn't be a problem anymore unless there's injuries. So that's going to be a fun matchup. Again, I have Utah winning that, but what makes them unpredictable is the skill position situation. Not to say that it's bad. They're just different than everybody else in the conference. Again.
Right. All right. And finally, God's favorite conference in the whole college football, the SEC is won by who? Kyle Nash.
It's hard to say anybody else than Georgia yet, right? Like, because if you believe in Lincoln Riley and the inability to play defense,
that's cute. That's cute.
Well stated. Yeah. For people picking Texas, I'll put it this way. I appreciate that more than I appreciate Beyonce trying to do country music. This ain't Texas. Let's see what I did there. Anyways,
are you a fan of that song, by the way?
I am not.
It in Texas.
I mean,
hold them.
It's just a bunch of like country music things pandered to a very generic beat. But if a white guy does that with rap, it's racist. Anyways, what, you like politics on your show? Shut up. No, joking aside,
you know me too well, brother. You know me too well.
And by the way, Beyonce is still a goddess. Let's not act like I have a problem with her.
Go.
Let me.
Although slightly overrated.
Who's slightly overrated?
Beyonce, a little bit.
Oh my God! Somebody in the comments? What's more insulting when you hear from EJ Christian? Him calling Queen Beyonce overrated, or him doing his Trump impression? Which is more disturbing, panel?
This one.
No, I mean your voice, jackass.
You want the actual, like, okay, Cal.
Don't be rude.
Don't be rude. I
feel like you should be using that one often. By the way, congratulations voice acting that and not needing a soundboard.
Kamala. As I said, what did he say 2 days ago? Kamala. That's what he said.
Oh, I just caught how that's like terribly, awfully racist too.
He said it correctly though, but the way he gets his voice though, he goes Kamala. I'm better looking than Kamala. No, you're not, dude. Stop.
First of all, let's not get ridiculous here. A B.
That's his words, not mine.
If he's calling her,
his words,
That's a problem.
He's trolling. He's trolling because he's lost it, dude. He's
a problem.
He cray. But I also got Georgia as well too.
Yeah.
And you know what? They'll be number one because of the fact that their strength of schedule will dictate that. But I think they'll get through the schedule most of the way. There's resistance, of course, with playing Texas, playing Alabama,
some other Bama, right?
Ole Miss.
Yeah. There's some evidence, though, in fairness, for those who doubt Georgia. I don't blame you, because they did show they had no clothes late last year, to an extent. Yeah. So I think they should have been ranked ahead of FSU, because they played a much harder schedule.
Oh, yeah. They're a better team, without question.
But I mean, them beating LSU in the kickoff classic, which I was at for the 3-point conversion, bing, that was, that was fun. But
that was a weak bing, by the way, dude.
I mean,
do better.
I have my reasons. Moving on.
Okay. Weakness. But I got Georgia as well too. I don't see anything different on that one. All right. So as you guys know, the playoff brackets is changed this year and for the foreseeable future. We're now going 12 teams now. Yay. Are you excited about 12 teams, Kyle?
I think 8 is the correct number, but I'm not mad at 12.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't know. I'm excited about this.
Please don't make it bigger than 12. First of all,
I'm okay with that. Okay with that.
And second, we don't listen. We don't need this to look like the basketball tournament. We don't. That's a problem.
I agree. 100% agree with that one. Okay. So give me, Kyle, your 4 buys. You want to put in order? Put in order. Why not?
Yeah. So I will take your number 4 FSU Seminoles. I will take 3 as Utah. I will put number 2 Ohio State and number 1 Georgia.
Okay, we have the same exact teams, slight different order. Florida State number 4, Utah number 3, number 2 I have Georgia, number 1 I have Ohio State.
Hashtag
I think Georgia will lose one of those big games. One of them. That's it. They'll go 11-1 and still find the 2 seed.
Oh yeah, you're the dummy that thinks Ryan Day is going to go undefeated. I'm sure Big Jim loves that. Bing.
Well, he'll go undefeated. And, run the table.
Don't be rude.
Yes. All right. So 5 through 12. If you want to go in reverse order, we can do so. 12 to 5. Filling out the rest of the bracket. Which teams will fill in the rest of the bracket, Kyle?
Number 12, Iowa. And then I have 11. Boise State is.
Did you say Iowa?
I did. I don't think that
Iowa, like the Iowa.
Hear me. What have I said year after year? It's not that they're good, is that the committee will force them in.
The Iowa Hawk Tours?
Stop it. Do better.
I can't.
I mean, it's better when you call it the Pac Tour instead of the Pac 2.
Pac Tour. Good that thing. All right, so Iowa number 12. Wow, interesting. Okay, number 11.
Again, that's more me making a statement than actually believing it'll happen. If you want to think it's Clemson, Penn State, UCF, whoever, that's fine. I'm not that guy.
Okay, 11.
Boise State. I think they come out of the G5. That'll be interesting. And on the strength of beating part of the Pac Tour, as they will have a Mountain West schedule. I think
that's sad though. Two teams now left in the Pac 2.
It's not even sad. Like, I just laugh at them now at this point.
Like, find a home. Find a home.
I don't know. Hey, did you check the comments? EJ, somebody a little something for you there.
Oh. My buddy Raph. That's my old drummer, my old band.
Hey, that's what's
up, Raph? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, you were part of the rhythm section. You all two were.
Drummer. I'm a bass player. There we go. Yeah, greatest bass drummer combo in history of metal. Go ahead. Anyway, number 11. Oh, no, number 10. Sorry, number 10.
I'm sorry, that was just very awkward because you're a Metallica fan and you know better.
I mean, well, Lars is okay. I love Lars. But let's be real. Lars is great for Metallica, okay? But anywhere else, I don't think he makes the cut anywhere else.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
As a musician, I can say that. All right, number 10.
Hope he doesn't find out if you downloaded anything from
Dude, that guy is rich beyond his years, dude. He's already invested 43 years. He's good. I don't think he gets told all the time on the internet. I don't think he gives a shit. Number 10.
Ole Miss, I believe, makes it into the playoff this year by pulling off at least one significant upset, air quotes, win in the SEC.
Okay.
9 will be Bama. Give credit to the new coach, formerly of Washington, stepping in for Nick Saban and doing what will be an admirable job.
DeBoer, right?
Yes.
What's his first name again? Remember? I forgot to.
I forgot. This is okay.
That's okay. That's not a big deal. I was just
host a podcast. Okay, you don't ask the questions to which you don't know the answer.
Well, we got the last name right.
Yeah, you did. That's a fact. But you still sound dumb. You're not understanding.
That's mean.
What the point of this exercise is? We're teaching you not to make that mistake again.
Not great, Bob.
You know, Kalen DeBoer.
Caleb, thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I forgot his first name too. Continue, please.
All right, number 8 now.
Yeah, I need to host myself because apparently you can't effing do it.
Apparently, look, we're doing this now 12 years now. You should be used to this by now. Don't be rude.
Notre Dame, number 8.
Fighting Irish.
Yeah, I think they're ridiculously easy schedule. You know, no matter whether or not Big Jim can handle the truth or not, their ridiculously easy schedule will propel them to a high number of wins, and the nation will continue to overfillate them as they literally always do. So yeah, they will be the 8th seed heading into the playoff. You'll excuse me for having trouble reading my own bleeding writing.
Chicken scratch.
Well, yeah, because what it was. LSU at 7. There we go.
There you go. LSU, who? The family.
That's right. I don't need the kazoo for that one. Number 6, Michigan. Number 5, Oregon. Right. So this is 3 Big Ten teams we have in the fold. Right. Well, 4 if you count Iowa. Right. And then Oregon was the 5th seed there. So to make it quick, Iowa, Boise State, Ole Miss, Bama, Notre Dame, LSU, Michigan, and Oregon from 12 to 5.
All right. So my 12 to 5 here. 12, I got Liberty. Number 11, I got Miami.
That's
10. Yeah, 10, I have Clemson.
Also ridiculous.
9, I have Texas. 8, I have Ole Miss. 7, I have Alabama. 6, I have Oregon. And 5, I have Notre Dame.
6. Interesting.
Say it again.
Your first Big Ten team in the playoff there through that way is, you said it was Oregon. You don't think Michigan makes the playoff?
No, unfortunately, no.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
This is how you ended up being called a Cowboys fan. You remember that, right?
Oh my God.
Always picking
really?
against your Giants, allegedly. You know, whatever.
I don't. I hope I'm right. I hope I'm wrong on this one, man. I hate Ohio State and I love Michigan. Calm down. All right. So matchups here. First round matchups. What you got? And the winner. To make it a little quicker.
And help me with this for
so
wrong. But
let me go first then.
It's 5 and 12 to open.
5 and 12.
I got Oregon over Iowa. Seems obvious. Mm-hmm. I got Michigan over Boise State. Seems obvious. I have Ole Miss over LSU. I know Jim will be all like, yeah, because he never wins a big game. At least you got that right, Kyle. I have Bama over Notre Dame. No, Notre Dame would beat it. No, they wouldn't. And
good job. Goodbye, Notre Dame. Get out of here.
And then
trash.
No, so that's where I have then too, and that would then pit Georgia against.
Wait. Let me do my first round. My first round, I have Notre Dame, Notre Dame ahead of beating number 12 Liberty. I have number 6 Oregon beating number 11 Miami. I got number 7 Alabama beating number 10 Clemson. And in a quote unquote upset, not really an upset because it's tied up, but it's the first low ranking being a higher ranking. I have Texas being Ole Miss.
It's going to be a hell of a game.
Damn right. If my bracket plays out, I would think. I hope it does.
I mean, if you're going to guess who's going to win, you might as well throw a dart.
Yes, you do there. I see. All right, quarterfinals. The bye now. All the 4 byes now play the winners of these. So who you got?
So Georgia doing battle. And remember, here's the part that's complete trash, buddy. They do not reseed.
No, they don't.
Yeah, thanks. I hate it. I got Georgia over Bama in a game that's happening way too early in the bracket, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ohio State over Ole Miss. No, excuse me, Ole Miss over Ohio State because they finally face somebody with a defense that will punch them in the mouth.
Wait, Ole Miss over Ohio State, you said?
I have that wrong. No, wait, it's I'm sorry. Number 2 matches up with number 10, right?
I believe so.
And yeah, I got Ole Miss over Ohio State. I have Oregon toppling. Oh crap! See, this is why you need to reseed, people, because I could reseed in my head. I can't.
It sucks. I know. I had to go through again. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who number 5 would play.
Number 5 would play in this scenario. The winner of 5-12 plays the winner of plays 4.
That's
winner 5-12 plays number 4. So I have the 5-12 plays the number 4.
Okay. Well,
who's number 4? Florida State, right?
Yeah.
So Florida State will play the winner of whatever that 5-12 bracket is for you.
Okay. Well, then FSU plays Oregon and loses.
Okay. Thank you for the good news. Appreciate it. Stupid. I hate you so much, dude.
And Utah.
You are a bad human being. You know that? You really are.
Ouch.
Sorry. Oh, no.
The fuck, Clyde?
I'm joking, buddy.
Joking.
And of course.
Anyway, Utah over Michigan.
Really? Okay. So I have Ohio State beating Texas. I have Georgia beating Alabama. I have Oregon over Utah. And then I have Florida State over Notre Dame.
Utah might be the worst prediction you have, honestly, because Utah is that perfectly designed team that would beat an Oregon.
Probably, but they won't.
Just
because again, I'm going to apply there.
Wait a minute, but hasn't that already? Wasn't it? I forget. It wasn't this year. It was 2 years ago.
Lost to Florida.
Haven't they? No, haven't. Like when they won the conference championship, it was over Oregon or Washington. I forget. Anyways,
I mean Oregon actually. Well, no, I remember that exactly. And I have Florida State over Notre Dame because I'm not letting Notre Dame beat Florida State. You know.
Oh no, I'm lying. It was USC. There we go. My bad.
Okay. And I got Florida State over Notre Dame because FU, Matt and Jim, and hell, even Jordan Buscarini. You get some of that too.
But
Notre Dame guys.
But aren't you Irish?
No. You shut your mouth.
You shut your mouth.
Yeah. All right. Semifinals. Is that one of these clear for you? I mean, that one's weird too because of the bowling situation and how they prefer the bowls.
You mean by the complete and total lack of reshaping? Yeah. Hold on. So
your final 4
are Georgia, Ole Miss, and then Utah and Oregon. Ole Miss, we playing Utah, that's a hell of a game. Period. And
so Ole Miss over Utah.
No, I have Ole Miss playing in the national championship. Isn't that nutty?
And they're beating Utah.
Because they're beating Utah in the semis.
Okay, and then who else? The other game?
Georgia and Oregon, which makes it Georgia and Utah in the national championship.
Okay, stop there. So you got Georgia beating Oregon in the semis. Okay, I have Ohio State beating Florida State, and I have Georgia beating Oregon. So your title game is who now? It's Ole Miss against Georgia. Yep.
I forget if it was Ole Miss or Utah now, but
no, Ole Miss. Ole Miss being Utah.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay consistent with what we talked about on Huddle Up. That's the thing, and I forget whoever it is. Georgia's the national champion. Whichever one.
Go. Same here. I have Georgia, Ohio State, and Georgia national champion. So there you go.
Which feels too easy, but there's plenty of threats in there where things could go different. But the only thing that I won't sign off on is you thinking that Oregon can beat Utah. I think that's adorable.
Now that's funny. Now we have that out of the way. Now we present now our first look at the preseason top 25 for this coming season, which kicks off this Saturday with my boys playing the first game against Georgia Tech. But let's review the top 25. All right, first things first. 25 Iowa. Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead. 25 Iowa though. Your thoughts on that?
And you thought me saying they would sneak into the playoff at the bottom spot was like I'm nuts. If I'm nuts for doing that, then this has to be nuts to you, right? Again, the committee just seems to love Iowa because politics.
Yeah, you say that, but then you have them going to the college playoff though. So
I do.
I don't get it though. Like you're saying that, but then they're getting to the playoff though. So what gives?
Because, well, here's the thing. The Big Ten, there's some smoke and mirrors there, buddy. That's what I'm trying to tell you, okay? I'm not here to say that they're an awful conference. They're not the ACC, to be clear. No one's trying to get out of the Big 12, right, Noel fan? You know what I'm saying?
I see that. All right, 24.
So, well, hold on.
Okay,
let me land the damn plane. For once,
no, I thought you're done. I thought you're done. I apologize.
Yeah, for once, you're actually worried about timing on your show. I don't.
Not with you. I'm good this week. I'm good.
Yeah, but maybe then you might want to start having some good takes. Anyway,
ain't
you walked right into that, homie.
I did.
No, see with Iowa in particular. Like, I don't feel like their schedule is particularly difficult. Like, they even have ACC teams on it. Oh no, wait, it's Maryland. They're Big Ten now. That always confuses. I say jokingly, of course, but I mean they have Ohio State on the schedule to accrue a quality loss. Sure, Ferentz is going to be suspended here coming up for quarterback recruiting. I mean, he hasn't had a great quarterback in ever, so there's that. But I mean, some of the hits from Iowa's schedule, right? Troy, Northwestern, Wisconsin. Okay, Washington's going to be tough. Another quality loss, if you ask me. They're getting slept on. UCLA, Nebraska. Okay, I am not moved, EJ Christian, but you know what else doesn't get moved? People playing the Hawkeyes defenses traditionally. Okay, so yeah, I think they'll win enough games to sneak in at 12. And in order to be knocked out of the playoff completely, they have to lose more than 3 times in my mind. I don't see that happening.
All right, number 24, NC State. I get it.
I don't. Why?
Frisky. Because they're frisky.
No, they're only frisky in ACC. That's awful.
That's all you need.
Unfortunately.
23, USC.
Okay. I if this kid that they brought in to replace Caleb Williams could sling the rock, they could, maybe sneak in. Oh, wait, they're in the SEC. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Real quick, Lincoln Riley hot seat, 1 to 10.
Oh, when they missed the playoff this year? 7.
Okay. I have another chance after this year. Okay, cool. 22, Kansas.
It's real easy to sleep on them, but they're really better in the trenches than you'd think, especially for a basketball school. I'm not mad starting them at 20 so you can see what happens.
Right, okay. 21, Arizona.
This would have made more sense before all the coaching changes and stuff that took place there, right? This is, again, another unknown. I'm not mad at them being pre-ranked right now just to kind of see what happens. Don't expect them to stay longer than 5 weeks. That's my early prediction.
Okay. 20, Texas A&M.
Overrated. What are we doing here? Stop it.
All right. 19, Miami. The U.
Rinse and repeat. What are we doing? Stop it.
18, Kansas State.
A sneaky good team that people sleep on. I don't think they're going to be a playoff threat. Well, no, they may be a playoff threat because they're going to compete in the Big 12.
Like 12 teams.
But they're going to fall short, I think, of being in the conference championship. And they may be like a low 20s ranking by the end of the year. I can grant that as a possibility, sure.
All right, 17, Oklahoma State.
Yeah, they're going to end the season. No disrespect to my guy, former UCF center and current O-line coaching assistant at Oklahoma State, nor any offense to the best mullet on the planet. Gardner Minshew is the only thing that's close, am I right? But yeah, I think they finished the season unranked. I'll be honest.
All right, 16, Oklahoma.
Overrated as hell. They're gonna stay in the top 25 because for some reason people love that brand still, but that's all it is. You know,
15, Tennessee.
I think this is about the right spot to put them. I think they're slightly overrated. And if Heupel was able to actually recruit a good quarterback replacement there, you know, getting things going, I didn't feel like what's the kid's name? Milton. I feel another Milton. Is it Milton or Hilton? I forget his quarterback's name.
Milton.
I was right. Who, by the way, ironically, has Mackenzie Milton, his former quarterback, one of his former quarterbacks on his coaching staff. Isn't that some stuff? Anyways, but if Milton comes out and looks as good as I thought he did in the bowl game, what was that, the Citrus Bowl? Yeah. There's a potential for that to hold. I like it.
All right, 14, Clemson.
Stop it. They're not going to go that high. I'm
sorry. Georgia Hound on week 1 because they're playing Georgia at Georgia on week 1. So I handle that business. All right, 13, LSU.
I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
To me, you can interchange LSU and Tennessee. I'll put it that way.
All right, number 12, Utah.
I'll make an argument for too low, but 12 isn't terrible.
Yeah, I think it's too low also too. But again, make them earn it. You know, right? Make them earn their stripes, which I think they will. Like we discussed it, and they'll win the big.
Well, what more do they need to earn their stripes? See, this is the secret people don't think about when it comes to Utah, right? I think it's and I was fresher on this number when I wrote about it on the blackandgoldbanneret.com. Bing! Trying to point out why Florida is not the most significant game on UCF's schedule, even though all the night public seem to think so. I believe it's 7 out of the past 11 years. Utah has finished ranked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Consistently. I like that. All right. 11, Missouri. They're a sneaky team, I think, that's SEC right now.
I can curse on this show. Get the entire fuck out of here. Okay.
I love a couple of you on this podcast.
Let's do this Jeopardy style.
Okay.
The question: what you can do with that bullshit? Student of the game. What is get the fuck out of here? Correct.
All right. Top 10. Florida State, number 10.
About right. I'm not mad at it. I think they'll obviously rise higher. They're giving them respect, but they don't know what the quarterback position is. They don't know how good Mike Norvell is going to turn things over. But I'm a Mike Norvell stan. I think he's going to handle all of it.
DJ Ungulale.
Yeah, listen. Crap, I can't say it now.
Ungulale.
I don't even know that that's right. Ungalialui, whatever we'll call it.
I said, I know it sounds better than what I had originally.
I haven't said it in so long, I kind of forgot how to say it.
All right.
But in his hands, what he can do to build him, I'm listen, what guys like Riley Ferguson and stuff were his quarterback in the day when he was fighting to win the American at Memphis. Okay. Like this is a guy, or Riley Patterson, rather, I said no, Riley Ferguson's correct. Riley Patterson was the kicker. Anyways, go ahead.
All right. Number 9. The champs, Michigan.
I think that's dead on.
Yeah, that's good.
A 5 or 6, but yeah, start them at 9. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, it puts them in the mix. You know, they're champions, get some respect. At the same time, acknowledge that there's a lot of changes and see.
No, but there's not. That's what people are getting wrong.
Okay. Well, we're going to disagree on that one. Number 8, Penn State.
You mean, which is to say, yeah, you're wrong again.
No, again, we're going to disagree on that. I'm not arguing about this one. Penn State, number 8. Go ahead, Penn State, number 8.
Penn State is entirely too low. I would put Michigan and who was the other team? Whatever. The previous 2 teams I'd put ahead of Michigan.
So Penn State's too high.
Too high. Why people keep having faith in James Franklin? I just don't know.
Hot seat? How hot's his seat this year?
8.
He has to make the playoff, right?
Yeah, if he misses the playoff outright, forget it. He's gone.
Right, I agree with that. Number 7, Notre Dame.
Too high. No,
I think it's fine.
It's a little too high. I would prefer to put Michigan over them, for example. I believe in them more than Mizzou, mostly because their schedule is ass. But they're always good in the trenches. So they're going to be a top 10 team in what they're doing, accruing enough wins and being able to use the smoke and mirrors to fraudulently produce themselves a high ranking as they have for the past at least 4 or 5 years.
Right. All right. Number 6, Ole Miss.
I think that's high, but I'm intrigued.
But you know what it is though? There's expectations now for this team.
Correct. But what's there's expectations, EJ, but to see the public acknowledge them as that and more than just the little engines that could is fascinating to me.
That's correct. Number 5, Alabama. No Nick Saban.
That's way too fucking high. That is way too fucking high.
I don't think we doubt the talent, but I think we also agree that Nick Saban literally carried that team.
DeBoer is not his. If you look at what his team makeup is, if you were to pick a coach, and granted, I love the Kalen DeBoer hiring. Let's lead with that. If you were to pick a coach that is closer to Saban's coaching style on the field and what the SEC is, it is not Kalen effing DeBoer. But what we're going to find out is he a guy that's going to find players and crowbar in his system, or is he going to coach around what he has? It'll be fascinating to see.
All right, number 4, Texas.
I'm going to say too high, but I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, it is what it is. Top 5 team.
Listen, I on this one, hit the clat. My problem with this one is people saying Texas is back and all that. It's hard for me to still absorb that. And granted, I'm more confident in this one than I am the past 2 years. But 4 in preseason rankings.
By the way, we're not hold up. So you hit the clat.
Oh, and rightly so.
There you go. All right, 3, Oregon. This is right.
This is not right.
Oh, too high?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh.
By this, you're telling me they're higher than Ohio State. I can't do that.
Number 2, Ohio State.
Oh, okay. That's why they did it. No, still crap. I think Oregon isn't completely overrated. People do not understand Oregon will get smashed by the physical fronts that are up there. So what you would probably do is take Oregon, slide them out, put them at 10, raise everybody else up 1.
Wow, that low, huh? Okay.
Yeah, that low.
Okay, number 2, Ohio State. This is right, of course.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, and number 1, Georgia. That's absolutely correct.
I mean, that's exactly what I have, so, yeah.
Oh, because you're correct.
You've seen the show. You're wrong all the fucking time.
No, I'm not. Sometimes. Not all the time.
Most
all
of
right. So you guys enjoy college football this year. Let's see. Oh, who is the Heisman this year?
So I'm sticking to my dark horse out there statistical anomaly pick of Cam Rising, just because they play defense so well and they're going to get the ball in Cam Rising's hands more against a conference that doesn't have a great defense. This isn't so much about Cam Rising, me thinking he's a great quarterback. Hell, I can make the argument that KJ Jefferson should have a case. I just think the media hates UCF that much and it'll never happen. Okay. If KJ Jefferson makes the Heisman and I have a day job, I might fly to New York for that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Covering the black and gold banneret. Bing! So like, I'm man, it's all being said. Yeah. Like, I don't think Cam Rising is in the top 3 among the quarterbacks there. Right. You know,
so you're saying it's good value then?
Yes. Oh yeah. For you degenerates out there, excellent value.
Yeah, I got Quinn Ewers from Texas to win it. But I'm a tool. I'm an annoying tool. I get it.
Give me fire. Give me that such desire.
That makes sense. I'm actually checking right now the future, the futures for the Heisman here real quick. I don't see the. Let me see real quick. I don't see it. No, never mind. I'll find a little bit. I got Quinn Ewers to win the Heisman from Texas. But okay, all right. Let's go to the NFL now. Have you been following this Tua Tagovailoa, Brian Flores little squabble as of late?
I mean, would you call it a squabble?
Well, so you guys don't know the backstory. Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback for the Dolphins, used to be coached by Brian Flores for 2 years in Miami, and we've heard rumors for years that the relationship was kind of, I won't say volatile. Let's just say that
it was strained. I mean, listen,
strained.
When you jump around and mess with a young quarterback's status of whether he's starting or not, that gets sticky.
Yeah, agreed. So obviously Brian Flores got fired by the Dolphins, even though having a winning record wasn't enough to keep his job there.
You mean Stephen Ross fired him so he wouldn't reveal all the scandal that was going on?
Correct, right. And of course,
say that out loud. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hey, Brian Flores sued the NFL for discrimination. Know that.
Sorry.
Is this gonna be a new gimmick for the show now?
You can
I like
blame me.
this.
Listen, I can't give you credit because on hilarity by default with Demosthenes Euclid, we got a strike for something. Or no, we didn't want to get a strike when we did Rocky on required viewing.
Right.
So that was the first instance of the kazoo here in the Student of the Game studios.
So both parties have not really spoken public about the relationship. We've heard rumors and stuff through the years. However, Tua actually did a sit down with Dan Labertard this past week, and he actually revealed some of the his thoughts on his time at Brian Flores. Here's a clip from the show.
And I told you, you sucked at what you did, that you don't belong doing what you do, that you shouldn't be here, that this guy should be here, that you haven't earned this right. And then you have somebody else come in and tell you, dude, you are the best fit for this. Like, you are accurate, you are the best whatever, you are this, you are that. Like, how would it make you feel listening to one or the other? You see what I'm saying? And then you hear it, regardless of what it is, the good or the bad. And you hear it more and more. You start to actually believe that. I don't care who you are. You could be the president of the United States. You have a terrible person that's telling you things that you don't want to hear, or that you probably shouldn't be hearing. You're going to start to believe that about yourself. And so that's sort of like what ended up happening.
All right. So basically,
I have some.
Okay, go ahead.
So there's a couple things I want to get out of the way right away.
Okay, go ahead.
If to me, it feels like Tua is uncharacteristically either uncalculated or he's gaffing all over the place here, right? It's hard for me, for example, to believe that Brian Flores looked him in the eye and said, "You suck." I don't think that happened. But again, what did I say earlier? When you're playing around with a guy's status as to when he's starting, when he's a young player, that's tantamount to maybe somebody thinking they're being told they suck. A, B, you aren't the first rookie, perhaps in the NFL, not perhaps, definitely, to have a veteran who is not as talented as you get more time than you. Now, I will get the unorthodox nature of the in, out, back and forth thing. The part that's getting left out of what, in my opinion, was the fine coaching and him doing it, meaning Flores, is that O-line was garbage in a special way. Okay. Like, this is why what I had written for the time at the Dolphins wire under our under our friend, Antoine Staley.
Wait, Antoine V. Staley for the record.
Well played. If I'm going to say Travis D. Hums for Big Cat Country's writer and my co-host of the Duval Dive, bing, I have to refer to the New York Daily News's Antoine V. Staley appropriately. You're correct.
Yeah.
Great job, by the way.
It's still a good friend of ours. I talk to him all the time. So
wonderful friend of ours. Listen,
absolutely.
He may or may not have let me use him as a reference on a resume recently. Anyway,
very, very cool, man.
He, being Flores, in my opinion, did the right thing by putting Fitzmagic in front of the onslaught of things when Tua was, suffering non-concussion injuries, right? Yeah. So I it's hard for me to go with that. So that's number one. Two, when Coach McDaniel, right? Because the S is for sucks for Josh McDaniels, right? When Mike McDaniel came in, that's a different offensive system. And maybe Tua was a better fit for that one, because the way that I remember the Dolphins playing offense that early in those early Tua years, right, was a lot more balanced. They weren't meant to be an air raid style attack. They weren't dynamic that same way. They couldn't be. They didn't have the friggin' guys, right? So.
I mean, that's pre-Tyreek Hill at that point, too, also, if I'm mistaken.
Pre-who? Say again?
That's pre-Tyreek Hill.
It's absolutely pre.
Waddle was there, but it's just him.
No, actually, Waddle, I think, was a rookie alongside of Tyreek.
Okay, so what a year Flores, I guess.
Right, exactly. Right. But yeah, the Tyreek deal was not, no, right, yeah. Exactly. It's all pre-Tyreek. So he went from being in a bad situation to a better one. And Flores being stuck in a bad situation without any of the situation with Stephen Ross that still has gone unanswered and uninvestigated. Meanwhile, you're going to steal the comeback player of the year from a guy that came back from death. Step your game up, media. Where the hell's my Stephen Ross interview, Levitard?
Speaking of media, the big quote on this one is that he said that Flores was a terrible person, which I don't think he meant to say that. I just think he made an example of like when you watch. Yeah, I don't think he meant him being a terrible person. I think he said when he was an example of like when you're being told by someone and then some person keeps telling you this and that. I don't think he necessarily meant that, but that's,
you were being told terrible things by a person. I don't think he felt like I interpreted it that way. This is the internet looking for sound bites. I'm better than that.
Anyway, we do have. To be fair, we have Brian Flores' response because he did actually respond to a presser. Here's his response here.
Just curious how that can get you. Look, I'm human, so that hit me in a way that I wouldn't say was positive for me, but at the same time, I've got to use that and say, hey, how can I grow from that? How can I be better? That's really where I'm at from that standpoint. Do I feel like that's me? No, but how can I grow from that situation and create a world where that's not the case that anyone says that about Brian Flores?
All right, your thoughts on his response?
Yeah, I mean, he said the right thing. I mean, there's nothing more than that. I think he thinks it's bull, right? I think he thinks it's bullshit. But by the same token, and this is the part where Flores is wiser, he's saying, okay, well, somebody thought that of me. Whether it's bullshit or not, how do I do better to remove that perception and portray my message coaching better? It's a great response.
Because you like to get a job some point down the road. But between having a lawsuit against NFL that's still currently pending, you also have this a perception now of a guy who's not someone that you would want to play under or hire to have on your team, on your roster. Then I guess here's the thing I will say. He didn't deny what Tua said. He didn't deny it, first off. So there could some truth to what he said. But I think he was also the bigger person here saying, acknowledging, what? Some things I may have, that's the way I took that with him.
I think you're reading a bit too much into that. I think it's less. The reason why he didn't deny it is because he didn't want this to become a back and forth that is portrayed through the media.
Correct. And he did the right thing.
And this response, I feel, kills the narrative. Like at that point, it ends here. Somebody will ask Tua about him saying he thinks he should grow more and do better, and Tua will be far more calculated in that response, I'm sure, and saying something like, I'm glad to hear that. I hope it's successful, or, something that Tua will make way more eloquent than I can on the spot, being hounded by, the clickbait media. Okay. Right. So, but yeah, I think this essentially kills that narrative. That's why he's not retorting saying, I never told him he sucked, people. And frankly, if he has to tell people that, you're idiots. Or let's say he did say it and he confirms it. Good Christ. Like that goes completely out of control, Right. So, right. I mean, him saying he didn't deny it. And I'm not saying you're doing it for this reason either. You are a clickbaiting motherfucker. Freaking Steph Curry's better than, what was it? Curry's better than Kobe. Fuck out of here. Anyways.
Calm down. Okay.
Yeah, calm down.
That's the debate. Calm down. No debate all day. Okay.
Shut your ass. I said it.
All right. Bo Nix wins the starting job in Denver. Look, preseason football, obviously.
Probably the least surprising headline of the damn regular or the preseason.
Have you watched them though through the preseason so far?
I mean, I haven't sat in front of a buttload of Broncos tape, but I'll put it this way: those who I would trust covering that have said, "Yeah, I see it." Do I think they're going to make the playoffs or anything stupid? No, there's still a lot of work to do in Denver. I don't think anybody's doubting that. When I spoke to Colin Cronum about the Broncos on the AFC West preview on the Student of the Game podcast, bing, that would be Colin Cronum of the Irish NFL show, by the way. He let me know that this is certainly a transitional piece, that the target is to okay, can we just not get him murdered? No disrespect to any JJ McCarthy friends out there. That's the scenario the Broncos are trying to avoid. but they're trying to learn him up right, get him ready to actually lead a team. Then when they have a relatively high draft pick, they can continue the rebuild, maybe do some more things, and actually turn this into a team that can compete for a wild card, because Patrick Mahomes II will still be in the league.
Right. Look, opinions aside, what I have with Sean Payton, I think Sean Payton is a human being. I have reservations about that. But as a head coach and the guy who can coach quarterbacks, he's one of the best I've seen in the last 20-something years. So
when I was in Phoenix, I asked somebody about the then fresh new hiring of Sean Payton. The quote I got was, "The league is better when Sean Payton is coaching." That's Andy Reid.
Yeah, and I'll trust Andy Reid's word to anybody else's. Trust me on that. The Bo Nix Sean Payton marriage, I think, will be fun to watch.
I agree.
Yeah. Dallas Cowboys contract drama. You have two. I mean, obviously, CeeDee Lamb is his deal being worked out so far. We hear that they had a number and he rejected it and all that. Of course, that Prescott thing continues. Lame duck year for him. What's your thoughts on the Cowboys and not locking in their 2 stars?
Well, I think CeeDee Lamb has people reading the tea leaves going, "Listen, buddy, if you hitch your horse to this wagon, do you want 165-year-old Dak Prescott throwing you the football with, what is this, his 4th or 3rd contract? I forget which."
This would be not including his rookie contract, it would be his 3rd one. It'd be a second big one. He had his rookie contract, then the first one, then this one now.
So this is his 3rd one. Okay, I forget if he had 2 deals. Yeah, that you're right. Okay, so
the rookie contract, the first big deal,
getting the 3rd one is the point, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So, for me, if I don't want to hitch my horse to that wagon, which I wouldn't either, right? Dakota is not what he used to be, and I know, but look at all his numbers at the end of last season. That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
But that team ain't the same, and you're asking Dak to do entirely too much. If he stays healthy, he ain't going to be what he needs to be for the Cowboys to overcome the hump of actually winning a goddamn playoff game, right? He says wearing his 49ers gear.
Isn't it strange, though, a guy coming up a career year, a guy that a lot of people right now coming to the season acknowledge as a top 5 quarterback probably in the league, I disagree with for the record.
Yes,
but definitely top 10 guy in the league.
Sure.
Is looked at as, this guy ain't it. I mean,
listen, say what I know people have mocked Jara as a GM and what he and his sons have done, but let's not forget, this is the guy that drafted an amazing offensive line, maybe did not do a great job patchworking it and supplementing it after that point, right? Who brought in Ezekiel Elliott with a good pick at the time. Granted, maybe kept him at the party too long and then was forced to try to crowbar Tony Pollard in there.
Yeah.
Revamped their defense in a way that when Sean Lee was hurt, they were screwed. Granted, perhaps they weren't as coached as well as they should have been. For example, stop forcing him to battle Trent Williams when you're playing the 49ers and put him on the other side and test somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Micah Parsons there, right? But DeMarcus Lawrence and they have Trayvon Diggs, that other corner when he's healthy, who's a dangerous interception threat. It's not that they've done a bad job acquiring talent. There's just been key things in Dakota in big moments that weren't his first playoff game against Aaron Charles Rodgers, where he forced the Packers to basically make Rodgers draw in the dirt to get another Hail Mary play to beat him, right? Everybody forgets about that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been coaching incompetency too here. Bad clock management, putting Ezekiel Elliott at center, having Dakota not being ready to understand those high pressure, low minutes moments. That's the same clock mismanagement we talked about, right? It's all those mental things. And I'll put it this way. If Coach Gus Malzahn at UCF says that it's the coaches that are most responsible for the discipline of the players, if NFL communities believe in that, then how do you keep Mike McCarthy and company in the building? There's a lot of change in the room. And if you're wanting to keep CeeDee Lamb in the building when receivers are getting more expensive than they've ever been, right? Number 2 receivers are asking for $30 million, for Christ's sake. What are we doing? Right? So, I can see why you would pass on Dakota, because you don't believe as he ages, he'll be the product you need. And you might be better off going with a new guy who is at least cheaper, right? Dak is coming out with $60 million. His number should be closer to Baker Mayfield's, in my opinion, in the 40s. Okay. So I think it's not that they think that Dak ain't it. The business is saying, not for that dollar amount. Of course he's not.
And not at the risk of not being able to lock in a CeeDee Lamb, not being able to lock in a Micah Parsons more importantly in a year from now. On top of that. So yeah, I think had Jerry or Jera had taken care of business and locked in Dak at a more reasonable deal a year or two ago, if you still believe Dak can at least function with the team he has now, which he has been able to do at least through 1 through 17.
Not really. He hasn't stayed healthy. That's what you're missing.
That's true. The bottom line is there's a ceiling to all this crap with him, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
And then time undefeated, baby.
And timing is the issue here for him. And not only that, we've seen the team do well with Cooper Rush at quarterback. No, he's not that good.
You have two projects in Cooper Rush and Trey Lance back there, and people wondering how they're going to do. I don't think Trey Lance is the answer. I think he's gone cold, and I don't think their coaching staff is as good as the Niners to develop a guy, frankly. But yeah, I mean, listen, Riptide Rush. If the problem is they have nothing else at running back, so you can't really run a balanced offense and support a guy like that trying to take over as the new guy as a game manager. That's not a thing you can do.
What's going to happen here is that Dak has a phenomenal year like last year, and they actually get to the conference championship this year, and then
no, they won't.
They got to pay him. No,
so, Cowboys fans, they're not getting.
I said no. It wasn't Kyle. It wasn't a prediction. Kyle, it wasn't a prediction. I said worst thing for them to happen is that this happens, and then they force to pay him.
What you said was what's going to happen is.
No, I said worst thing to happen is that it does that. Not
okay. Then Lorelai, talk slower.
I can't help that, buddy. You need to slow down.
By the way,
calm down.
Grillmore girls doing that. You give me a little credit. At least it's clever, buddy.
I like it. No, it's great. And again, the timing's off because of the Micah stuff pending.
1,000,000,000%.
By
the way, for the people who question Trevor Lawrence's contract, did you not get they kept Hines Allen in the building for Christ's sake? Just say it.
Yeah. One last thing here. Brandon Ayuk. Seems like so last week we were hearing that as much as 3 teams was going to trade for Brandon Ayuk, and there was a format prepared for the Browns, for the Patriots, and the Steelers.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, last couple of days, I'm hearing now that the Niners and Ayuk are back to the table, and there could be a deal sooner than we realize. Your thoughts?
I have to admit.
Go ahead and admit it.
For a long time, I'm like, y'all keep forgetting John Lynch in this front office be playing chess. Y'all already forgot what they did with Garoppolo to keep him in the building to then help propel them to the NFC Championship game.
Right.
Like, Brock Purdy is born because of what this front office did. All right? What are we doing? What the this is your show. What the
fuck? My show. You can cuss.
Like, I'll be like Step Brothers. What the fuck just happened? Okay. Like so people act surprised when the Niners go, what we have is a pretty goddamn good deal. Can you match it? Only they turned it around. Here's what I think happened, especially after seeing what I saw following the Calvin Ridley situation in Jacksonville with Jaguars on SI. Bing! Calvin Ridley was looking for them dollar bills, y'all. Mm-hmm. I really think this ended up boiling down to 2 things. A, Brandon Ayuk acting a fool out there trying to negotiate in public on social media. I think that rubbed Shanahan the wrong way, Kyle Shanahan the wrong way. They got over that eventually, and now he's realizing, I think the real thing is he was looking for a state or a geographic, what's something that would help his pay based on geographic location, EJ Christian, that people wouldn't necessarily focus on in the media?
What is it?
Tax. This dude is simply trying to find a better tax rate. He's going to find a better tax rate in Boston? Bro, it beats the shit out of California, buddy. I don't think you're aware of what they do out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know they don't tax like that in Cleveland, right?
Wait, is Ohio state tax? No state tax in Ohio?
I believe Ohio does have state tax.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I haven't looked it up.
I know we don't here in Florida, obviously.
I just know it's less than California, bitches.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Right? And they may even in San Francisco be paying a damn city tax.
On top of everything else.
Yeah. But then he's like, you know what? I don't want to deal with Drake May. He's pretty butt nasty. I don't want to be getting passes from Deshaun.
Well, as my 11-year-old son said last week at a family gathering, booty juice.
Booty juice, yeah. Hot dog water, as our good friend
Damn kids, I swear.
used to say. What's the matter? Did someone dunk on you again? Anyways, and then he looks.
It was booty cheeks. Sorry, booty cheeks.
That's better than juice. Anyways,
yeah.
And then he looks at Pittsburgh thinking, hey, that's not bad. And then you see Rusty starting to not look so great in camp, and Fields is looking worse. And he's like, John Rice Plumlee, UCF, what? That starts to turn away when he sees that offense may not be all that in a bag of chips.
Yeah.
So, hey, man, sometimes the grass is greener. And where the Niners won out is they're like, if you taking one from Coach Mike Singletary's thing, I want winners. Okay? And if you don't want to win first, you can certainly try. Now, is this Ayuk's last year? Definitely. But
so you don't think they'll get a deal? You think they'll do like a 1 year thing?
I think he'll get a rental. Yes, because the Niners, from what research I've done, and I'm not fresh on it, but what research I've done, and it was those months back, they don't have room to give him what he's asking for. 28. He said no to $28 million, if I remember correctly. What the fuck just happened? Okay. So yeah, that's tough for me, buddy.
Yeah, it should be an interesting situation going forward, and the receivers market too also is an interesting conversation to have, because I feel like is it going to be topped out with a CeeDee Lamb deal and then that's it, resets again, or you see it's going further into like late to the high 30s?
Because
so Justin Jefferson got $35 million a year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Understand? Okay, where you're off is Justin Jefferson is clearly the number one weapon.
No question. Yeah, we're not arguing that.
Lamb is unquestionably the number one weapon. Brandon Ayuk ain't that.
Yeah.
Okay. Like if I tell you top talented 49ers on the team, go.
Trent Williams number one.
Good boy. Continue.
By the way, is he holding out too also?
There is negotiation stuff, but I think the Niners realize where their bread is buttered. Pay
that man. Stop it. Stop playing around.
Dealing with Trent Williams is part of what slowed things with Brandon Ayuk. Let's be fucking
clear.
Okay.
Yeah. That obviously Debo and McCaffrey, those two guys that come to mind.
I would not Samuel ahead of Ayuk.
No, it's not in any order. I'm just
no. The idea is okay. I did say top five.
In order.
Top five in order. Important 49ers. Go.
Number 1, Trent Williams. Number 2, McCaffrey. Number 3, Debo.
I don't agree with that, but continue.
Number 4, I don't want to say Purdy, because we saw the Seymour.
Hey, dipshit. They play defense too.
Bosa.
Also incorrect, but you have the name. He should be in the top 5, but for you to put Debo Samuel ahead of Fred fucking Warner is a crime.
I was getting there too, Warner, but yeah.
Warner should not be behind Samuel. What the fuck is going on here? Please keep in mind also, you left Purdy off. I agree. You didn't even mention George Kittle, right?
That was coming too also.
That's what she said. But my point
she did say that.
You didn't even get to Ayuk's name yet.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I think he's 5. Right? But I got Trent, CMC, Warner, Kittle.
And if shit's bad now, brother, wait to get to the Purdy thing. If Purdy continues to play what he's been playing this couple of years.
I know. You see, you're wrong there. I don't think they'll pay him. They will go a different direction before they pay Brock Purdy.
They believe in Shanahan's system.
Why wouldn't
anybody that plays in that spot can do the job?
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know if I blame him, to be honest with you. Unless Purdy's somehow morphs into freaking Joe Burrow,
Because here's what's funny. When Michael Penix, actually no, the contract makes that impossible. Forget it. I had an interesting theory of boiling, but that's wrong. Like I can make an argument that the Giants cut and buy out Daniel Jones to move on, and then he goes to the 49ers and does well. That's on the table. That's the kind of system that Shanahan could run if the quarterback does what he's supposed to do.
Right.
He's not put in a position to make bad decisions because they pay the players around him to be great and they develop other guys in the meantime.
Right. we'll see what happens. We got 17 days for the season starts, or 16 days for the season starts. So we'll see how this plays out. The Cowboys situation, the Niners situation, and all two teams are in the mix to go to the Super Bowl. So we'll see. Anyway, Kyle Nash, it was great as always. Plug away.
Honor, joy, and privilege, EJ Christian. Of course, I am Kyle Nash, the Student of the Game. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at the SOTG. Find me on Facebook as the Student of the Game. Check out my writings with the Black and Gold Banneret, Jaguars on SI, and the 3-point conversion, where I'm going to drop an NFC West preview. I know that seems weird, but that's what's going on. Mm-hmm. And also the Duval Dive podcast taking place this week, Saturday, 8 p.m. Saturday at 8 p.m. And then the Night Shift podcast powered by the Black and Gold Banneret, which will drop on Tuesday or Wednesday. We do record on Mondays. We don't have a set time, but it's a whole other question. And then look out for change coming that I will announce soon on the Duval Dive. So make sure you jump in for that, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Honor, joy, and privilege. Until next time, everyone. Class dismissed.